Get started. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Test, test, can you hear me? Mr. Gold, Michael McEwen, how are you?
Hello, everyone.
Mr. Gold, are you going to be at SWAT this year? I think you go every year, but just checking.
Yeah, the sound is perfect, Chad.
Oh, you can hear? Good? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Amy's on the mic. So if you're new here or not, even if you're not new here, if you're new here, let us know where you're from and how you found us. If you're not new here, if you're one of the regular club meeting people, say hello. Tell us where you're from and whatnot.
We got a bunch of our regulars. We got Roman. We got Mike Taylor. We got
Mike Taylor.
Homerlex. Hey,
Homerlex.
Homerlex, that bowling bowl, that was really cool.
Yeah, who made the bowling ball one?
That was Homerlex.
Oh, that was awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Kevin Kronwitter, Jim Spalding, Joey Sturgeon.
Awesome. Sounds like a bunch of misfits.
Lawrence, Julian, Richard Elston's here.
Hey, Richard, how are you? Sounds like we got everybody in the house. All right, everybody, we're going to get started here because it's right at 3 o'clock, or 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock was our old time. How's the sound? Am I too loud?
The sound is good. I've got to run and go get a tissue for my nose.
Is it going to be too windy for you?
No. You
Okay.
can't even hear that, by the way. You can
No, I
hear
know,
it
but
in
for
here,
you,
but on
like
the
being
mics, you
cold,
can't
is
even
it
hear
too much?
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Chad from Turner's Warehouse. Amy just walked by. She's gonna be on the chat doing moderation with Mr. Gold. Thanks again, Mr. Gold, for always having our back here. Well, that doesn't go in there. That goes
Take
in
off
there.
my mic while I blow my nose.
But this week and next is going to be Mother's Day gift ideas. Now, it doesn't have to be Mother's Day. It could be gift ideas anytime, but these are good for both. Next week, we're going to do a golf pen because a lot of moms like to golf too. So we're doing golf. This week, we're doing a flower vase out of this piece of mahogany. Now, I want to address something. Somebody last week complained that I didn't have things ready enough and I wasn't prepared. But that's kind of on purpose because it shows everybody, if I had everything drilled and centered and on the lathe, it kind of takes away from some of the experience. So this is intended to be fun and also maybe you'll pick up something. I don't know, maybe not. You don't have to. But anyway, we're going to get started here. Let's use this live center. So what we're going to do is take a glass tube. Everybody's seen these. This is the one we have. You can get them everywhere. Do you know what these cost, Amy? They're like a couple bucks, right? But anyway, we're going to make this a flower holder. Kind of like artsy flower holder. Amy just wants it. Amy drew this rendering. Amy, nice drawing. So you want it long and skinny and then big bottom?
Yeah, you just need to make it tall.
Tall and robust.
And
so
you need to make it robust on the bottom.
I'll try to make it as tall as I can. And then I'm going to set this down in. I'm not going to have it up at the top. I'm going to try to set it down. Is that right? So it's down in. Now, this mahogany, this is the one we have in the store. These are like furniture pieces that we got, and they have these little knobs on the end, which actually isn't a big deal because you can use them to get everything ready. So I think what we'll do here, before we get started, anything we need to talk about, Amy, or anyone in the chat, anything we need to talk about or cover? Last week we did the lighters, or one lighter. I had planned to do two, but that one we had to figure out a little bit.
I saw a couple really great ones that people made
Yeah.
this week, which was cool.
Really great. So, I've got this between centers. Yeah.
Michael McEwen says, beware of wood movement with a glass tube. Don't ask. Like
Yeah.
if the wood is
That's true.
Yeah.
This stuff's super dry, but actually that could happen with anything.
That's a really good point.
I'm going to grab your face shield because mine's next door, Amy.
Hey, Mark from Hobble Creek is in the chat as well.
Hey, Mark. How's it going? Hey.
Kev, what up? We also have exciting preliminary news about a special event that we're going to have in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead, Amy. Tell them about that.
On the 21st,
I'm going to sharpen my roughing gouge while you do that.
Now I'm like going to double check my calendar. Yes, on the 21st for our live stream is actually going to be at 4 o'clock, and we're having a guest presenter come do the live stream for us on the 21st at 4 o'clock. And we're going to invite all the locals that are in town, whoever's left, and whoever is tough like us and stays over the summers to come down and be in person. And then we're going to have the physical store open from like 3 to 6, I believe. So it should be really cool. Word on the street is it's going to be like a lidded box.
Yeah, lidded box.
Yep.
And he's a young turner, but he's very good, so it'll be fun to see somebody fresh and new. You guys are probably sick of me, so that's awesome. Hold on one sec. I'm going to hit this sharpener.
And we'll put out a bunch of just information about that, so everybody will know that the live stream will be shifted to that other time that day, but it should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Joel from Denver. Vinny, what up?
Oh, wait. Hey, can you
Gerard.
go grab that Franken bowl?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to show that because I showed it last week.
Darren Field, what up?
Darren, hello. Hello. All right, so to start this off, we're between centers. Here's my plan. I'll lay it out for you guys real quick. You're fine. Just go. This is the shape-ish that Amy wants. What I'm going to do is turn this round, put a tenon down here, and then hopefully I can hold it in some heavy jaws enough to drill it out. I'll drill it out with a Forstner bit, and then I will put another live center in the hole of the Forstner bit. Assuming, yep, that's big enough. And then we can do all the shaping and fine tuning, and if we want to do any embellishments, we can do that at that time, and we'll see how it goes. So I was going to show this. Thank you, Amy. This is what I showed last week that I was working on. It was the bowl that exploded. It's sumac. Here, you want to hold it up in front of that camera?
Oh,
Watch the cord. There you go.
Oh.
No, hold it up in front of the camera because it's not zoomed in. There you go. Perfect. And it's sumac with copper stitches. It actually looks kind of cool. I tried to texture the inside, which I don't know that I love, but it's fine. The outside was pretty smooth. I got lucky because I hadn't sanded, but it was pretty smooth from turning. Because obviously once it exploded, there was no going back.
It's
So,
really smooth.
but it looks pretty cool. It just shows you that, you know, just because something blows up doesn't mean it's always a waste, most of the time, but not this case. I was lucky because I had big pieces. The thing literally just went flying to the sides. So this was still on the lathe, 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece, 5 piece. So it wasn't a lot of pieces. I am missing some little tiny bits and bobs here and here. This was already a hole from like a worm. So I think it's a salvage. It's a, you know, it could be a fruit bowl or just sit on a shelf with some junk in it or whatever. But anyway, that was from last week that I was working on. And that's it. What have you guys all been doing? Working on some stuff, I hope. Feel free to always share. If you're on Facebook, we have Turner's Warehouse Turning Team. That's where everybody posts their stuff they're making, and it's always a lot of fun. So what we're going to do, round this, make a little tenon for our heavy jaws and try to hold this long enough to drill it. I think we'll be okay, and we'll go from there. I am going to wear a face shield. Normally I'd wear my power cap, but I don't have it. It's next door.
Do you want me to have someone bring it, Chad?
No, I don't really need it today.
Byron says it shows why to wear PPE. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm just spinning about 900, and I got a roughing gouge, and I'm just going to rough this thing up. I mean, really, I could just get by with doing enough for the jaws, but a roughing gouge sure is nicer to round something than a bowl gouge. Oh my gosh, guess what this smells like? Anyone?
A rich mahogany?
A rich mahogany, yes.
It smells of leather-bound books.
I thought you might
mahogany.
remember that.
Zach Higgins is in the house.
Zach, what's up?
Matt says, any recommendations on a roughing gouge? What is the width of the one that you're using?
This is 1.5 inch record power. I probably use the 1 inch the most, but on big stuff, obviously, I can take a little more off without any issue here. The roughing gouge doesn't really matter because they're all kind of very much the same. It's just a matter of keeping it sharp. Any roughing gouge is good if it's sharp, and you just want to sharpen it often, but it's a super simple sharpen. Like I can come over to the grinder here. It takes longer for the grinder to wind up than it does to sharpen it. And now I have a fresh edge. So I really do like the record power. This is what I use. This is a 1.5. I also use the 1 inch a lot, or 1 1/4, whatever it is. But yeah, any roughing gouge, just keep it sharp. And it just really makes rounding stuff so easy. This tool is only meant to be used on the side grain like this. Forgot what I was going to say here. And you want to keep it nice and level. You want to move it side to side. You don't want to try to, do curves and rounds and things. It really only has one job. Amy, you were doing some roughing this morning and you seemed to really figure it out. What did you find to make your roughing easier?
Make sure your tool is sharp.
Yep.
It's the sharp tool. And just like keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to come in, just find my cut. When I start getting good chips, then I just start moving right away. And once you're flat, you can go back and forth to kind of smooth it out. I'm not round yet, but I'm pretty close. So I can move that back. I don't want to go uphill with the roughing gouge. You'll hear that said a lot, don't go uphill. And I'm going kind of fast, so I'm getting some rings, but I'm not real concerned with them. If I went a little slower, I could get a smoother finish. But I'm not quite round yet, so I'm just kind of blowing through it. But where I start to go uphill here, that's where I'm going to move my tool rest and do just that spot. Once I get round, I'll start to get much bigger shavings because they'll be going all the way around the piece, and that's where I want to stop.
Jake Thompson's in the house. What up, Jake?
What'd you say?
I said Jake Thompson's up in the house.
Oh, hey, Jake.
We got
I know him
Jake
from
and
Saturday
Vase.
morning.
What is the speed that you're turning, Chad?
What?
What's the speed you're turning?
I'm at 950. I could probably go up a little now that I'm roundish. So I'm going to pop it up to 12, and that'll make it even smoother, as long as I don't jam it in like that. You want to up your speed as soon as you can, but you don't want to go too fast too soon when it's still rough. But you can see how much smoother it is. Oh yeah. And we're fairly flat. We might have a tiny bit of flat spots still, but not bad. And you could have done this a lot faster, more aggressively, but you know, obviously, as we're just working and talking here, this is fine. Okay, so I'm all round down here. I do have a little bit of flat here, which we can just knock out real quick, and then we'll cut a tenon in here for our jaws.
Homer Lex says spindle roughing is therapeutic.
It is.
I agree. It's really fun.
You know, it's hard to not go too far because it's just kind of fun to take big chips. That's pretty close. We got a little bit still. I must not have been exactly in the center. But we're going to turn that away anyway, so I think we're okay. Is Myra here?
It's
Myra?
a pretty color. I haven't seen her.
She'll watch later maybe. Yeah, this is mahogany. It's real nice. It has a really cool color. It finishes really well. And this was like furniture grade, so it's really good quality. No knots or anything in it.
Michael,
Okay, so
it is a rich mahogany.
yeah,
It
rich
smells
mahogany.
of leather-bound books and rich mahogany.
Oh man, I just dumped all kinds of shavings into my water. I guess that's the downside of the roughing. So I want to use this chuck because it's got, oh, I may have made it too small. Let's see. Do I have some calipers out here? Well, we can just pop it off here real quick and see. We may be trying a different chuck if this one is too small. I didn't think that I wouldn't have enough wood. Yep, I made it too small. Okay, we're going to use a different chuck. Fun, right? See, that's the thing. Like, that's how it works. You know what we'll do? We'll just cut a tenon and we'll find a chuck that works. How about that? And actually, we're not cutting like a full-on tenon. We're just going to cut into the body here for the purposes of holding it. Now, obviously, it might not be exactly perfect because I just took it out of the drive centers, but it'll be okay. All right, let's grab a bowl gouge. This one will do. And we'll just cut a little, we're just gonna cut a little groove. I guess it does matter what chuck it's going in.
What does poor mahogany look like?
What is what?
Oh, because I keep saying it's a rich mahogany.
Oh yeah, poor mahogany? I don't know.
That's funny.
It's not good, whatever it is. Hey, that looks pretty good still.
We have a question that is related somewhat. If
Yeah.
you treat something with CA and then put it on a food safe finish, is it still food safe? Is epoxy food safe when finished?
Well, these are all like, those are great questions, and they're like kind of complicated because are they technically food safe? Like if food touched it, would it be safe? Probably. But the problem comes in where like, what if somebody puts something on like a cutting board with an epoxy river and then they cut against it? They could potentially cut into the epoxy. So I, as a general rule, say anything with epoxy or CA is not food safe, even though technically that may be wrong because things could come in contact, but it wouldn't necessarily hurt it. So really, it's kind of a matter of what you think. If you're the one who's selling it or using it, but that's just my thought. So anything that comes in contact with food has to be food safe all the time, not just
If you were using it,
does that make sense?
yeah, if you were, John Fortner said epoxy is food contact safe, but I would not use it on a cutting board.
That's exactly,
So I'm saying
yeah.
like,
That's
unless-
exactly what I was saying, just he said it better.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna do like a charcuterie board, just make sure that it's a charcuterie board only. Everything on it is sliced and there aren't any utensils being used on it. And I would say the same thing for a bowl. Like if you made a bowl and you were gonna like set fruit in it, that'd be one thing. But if you made a bowl that was gonna like have utensils used against it, then I would be like, nope.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Ralph says, is shellac considered food safe?
I don't know the answer to that. I'd have to find out.
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
All right, so I'm going to use a much shorter chuck. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to come in here and
Sauce should be good.
what?
Julian said I'm making a little charcuterie bowl for sauce. And I was like, sauce should be good if you're not like scraping against it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of
Oh.
potentials.
Michael McEwen says, Ralph, yes, shellac is a natural product. Another shellac is food safe. It's made from the Indian lace bug? Lac bug? Shellac is food safe.
What I'm doing is
That's interesting.
making a little cut in here.
Shellac is actually present on your M&Ms to make them shiny.
Really?
You can eat raw shellac. It's used on M&Ms.
Yeah, don't eat shellac. We're
Just
not
don't
endorsing
look up where
that.
it comes from, Darren says. Now I'm totally going to look it up.
So I'm cutting this because I'm going to use a short jaw chuck. Ooh, hopefully. Nope, I think I went too high on the jaws. I'm going to cut a second groove.
Have a good afternoon, Zach. Take care. Say
Zach's
hi to
leaving
Gretchen.
already? So I cut 2 grooves from my chuck because I think this one might be too tall. And we're going to cut this just because this thing's kind of big. So don't ever run the lathe with your saw. That's a bad news bears kind of situation. I'm doing it by hand, and it's all right, but if I was to run it, I could create a real problem for myself.
Hey, Marquetta. Marquetta's in the chat now.
Oh, that's so awesome that she's here.
So awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
awesome.
so awesome. All right. There it goes. Look, fell right off. Okay, so we can put a chuck on now. And really, I mean, I'm lucky and have a lot of different chucks here from different manufacturers, so that's cool. But if I didn't, I would have been a little more aware of what size would work for what. But I'm going to use this one today. This is a Vic Mark, and I can really crank on this thing and not worry about it. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, is my second spot enough? If not, we're in trouble. Yes, it is just enough.
I really want M&Ms now.
M&Ms?
Thanks a lot, guys.
Huh. Let's put this up. This will give me a for sure. Just in case my back end of my piece isn't exactly flat. This will give me a good holding spot.
Dad jokes are always extra, Darren.
Are always what?
Extra. He said,
Yeah.
do we need to pay extra for the dad jokes?
Who's making dad jokes?
I mean, I feel like all the pun jokes are pretty dad jokes.
Oh, from Marquetta. I only did the sew one because she always throws in a sewing joke. Okay, so we should. Now this is probably not ideal to drill this, but we're going to go for it. Let's see here. We're going to use this. Now, funny enough, I went to find this extension, and it was right where it was supposed to be in the drill bit stuff, but there were no set screws in it. Like, I don't know how the set screws go missing. So I had some little bolts, but they're sticking out, so I'm going to have to be real careful with this. But we had this show to do, so we're here, and we're going to do it. So, I mean, what could go wrong with all this extending, right? Actually, we're gonna drill first.
Don't ever let a person shenan. For sure, they will shenan again.
Oh no. We already got shenanigan jokes.
I also like Skittles. And we are renaming officially M&M's Shellactate pills. Shellactate pills.
Huh.
No, Gerard, we can't send M&Ms. We have to send fruit snacks because it's so hot here. You would have a big melty mess.
Yeah, we used to do other candies, and it would always be real bad.
It gets so hot here.
Okay. I don't know how this is possible, unless I knocked it on the ground.
It always blows my mind what weird things are in food.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, huh?
When does a dad joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
Oh boy.
Shellac-and-M's. M&M's melts in your mouth and in Arizona.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll get this hole started, then we'll put the extension on. Now, obviously this is a little long. I would much rather have longer jaws, but this piece was too small for the longer jaws I have. So I'm gonna just be very careful here and make do. We'll go to the overhead.
Nice.
I'm relatively confident this will work. I'm going to lower the speed way down. And I'm locked up. We'll just kind of progress in here.
Hey, Charles, what up?
Charles Stanley?
Charles Stanley's in the chat.
No way, I know him.
Did you hear about the carpenter who never learned joinery? He screwed up all his projects.
Oh boy.
That was pretty good.
Oh boy. Is that from Charles or somebody else?
Mike Taylor.
Mike Taylor, bringing it at home. I bet Mike Taylor has some dad jokes. I mean, he is a dad.
Byron Patterson is also killing it with the dad jokes today.
Okay, Amy, this is kind of like your design in a way. Do you want it solid or do you want like holes through or any texture? What do you think?
Oh, it's not really my design because I'm not making it. I just was saying that
Well, I'm kind of using what you were thinking.
having a fat base is important for tippage.
Yeah. Sawdust is packed in.
Mike says, that was not my joke. I would make one up, but I'm too lazy.
Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike. Okay. So, I guess I'm kind of working off the camera
Hi,
here. My
David
bad.
from Golden Valley. Welcome.
Golden Valley, Arizona.
I don't know.
It's a little warm. I got to be careful. So I'm going to use this extension. Again, not ideal to have these screws sticking out, but they're the only ones I had that fit. And because I didn't know it was missing the set screws, I didn't notice it was too late to go get new ones. So I will get set screws that go inside of this, but I'm just going to be real careful not to put my hand up here and touch it. We're going to get that thing down in. Oh no, it's not going to work because I thought the hole would be big enough, but it's going to hit.
The screws are hitting?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can
no.
you tell Carrie I need a extension from next door?
Yeah.
I'll just have to use a new one with actual set screws. With actuals. I guess while we're waiting for that, we will test our tube to make sure it goes down in the hole, and it does. That's weird. When I put this in there, it fogs up a little bit, like from moisture coming out of this, even though it's dry wood. Okay.
I've put out the call.
We've made the call.
Yeah, people are voting
use
for beads.
For what?
I don't think there's enough room for beads. Maybe.
Oh, beads? Like on the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Actually, that's kind of cool. Different.
Jim votes chip carve it,
Yeah, I bet he does.
which is totally legit.
It's from a guy who's good at chip carving.
Yup. Good one, Julian.
All right, so we're going to drill this out, put up a live center, shape it, and then do some additions. Maybe we'll do beads. I kind of think that's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, that could be really neat because you're talking the whole way, huh?
I don't
Up the
know.
neck and everything, yeah.
A couple people said beads.
I don't know, we'll see.
Captured ring.
Captive ring, no. Not today.
A few small beads. Darren says, I'm suspicious that was planned. I make up reasons to get new tools also.
I make up what?
Reasons to get new tools as well.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Carrie to the rescue. Yay, Carrie.
Carrie, do you want to say anything to the crowd?
No, but I was going to go that way and I can't. Yeah, you can.
Go ahead. You just got to duck.
You have to wave at everyone, though.
Carrie. That's Carrie.
Yay, Carrie.
They saw you wave. Man, we're not... Carrie. Will you grab me the long one? I know, but I'm thinking since we're doing it such a long one, we might as well, if we're going to take one out, we might as well do Carrie again.
Carrie, yay, woo!
Way to go, Carrie. If you're going to go for it, we might as well make it the whole length of this thing, which is like 12 inches. Right? All right. Let's do some shout outs. Julian, Homer Lux, Mike, Bruce. I feel like I just saw Bruce. Where is
Yeah,
he?
we did just see Bruce a couple days ago.
Jim Spalding, Marquetta, AGK, all the way from England, right? Darren, Julian, I already said.
Carrie
Ralph.
is really tall.
What'd you say?
I said Carrie is really tall.
You guys
Oh.
probably don't know this, but Carrie is 7 feet tall. What?
She's not that tall. But she's tall. Frankie says, wait, I lost it. Do you have a Sorby texturing tool?
Don't.
That'd be awesome. Like the texturing tool.
You know, I tried to buy a Sorby texturing tool recently, and the place I went, it was all sold out.
Bummer.
I was going to try to make my own. I figure it looks like just like a spiky wheel on a bearing. There's got to be a way I can make that.
I feel like I like a clean, classic look, but that's just me.
Yeah. So no beads for you.
If I was voting, I would vote no beads. Or if you do beads, do like one tiny bead at the very top.
Oh. Oh, geez, Carrie.
But
That'll
that's
reach.
how I would make it if I was making it. You got to make it how you want to make it. Okay, passing through again.
Thanks, Carrie.
Carrie, everyone saying hello.
All righty. Our Forstner bit is now 11 inches long or 12 inches long because this is a 9-inch extension. So actually I can reach the whole way. It's a heck
Marquetta said, so they said, Sorby, we're all out.
of Sorby. Yeah. I should have known. Should have known. I should have known it was coming. Sorby.
Julian
Sorby,
says, can you
Sorby.
use a leather texturing tool for it?
Maybe. I haven't done it, but you should try and let us know because that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. What could go wrong with a 9-inch extension and a 12-inch piece of wood? I think it's going to be just fine.
Hi, Scott. Welcome.
What I'm going to do is try to blow the dust out every now and then. Woo! Oh, I bumped the lathe. I'm like, why did it stop? I'm going to move my control box over here. I'm going to move my air gun somewhere else too. All right. Now we got it. Maybe that'll keep us from packing it in there. Look at that thing bounce.
It's nice now that you've got a compressor in here.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Huge. Would you like me to grab that for you?
Oh, I got it. That's why I have the magnet, in case stuff falls on that side. Okay.
Oh no.
Let's see. Ugh. This has got to be the deepest hole I've ever drilled. Come on. So this thing, I want to leave a little room for the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Now I'm going to turn this off to put this in because that could go all kinds of wrong getting that fed in there.
I was just watching the dust, Michael. Michael McEwen's like, how does Amy liking all that dust being blown her way? And I was just thinking, that's a lot of dust in there.
Is it blowing it your way?
No, it's blowing like over here.
Maybe the swamp cooler will actually help that. I don't know.
Do you feel like you're breathing it in? Do you need a...
No, it's blowing right past me because of the swamp cooler blowing across.
Surprisingly, at least for right now, the swamp cooler is very helpful.
It's very what?
It's very helpful. Like, it works really well until it gets hotter and...
Oh, no!
Oh no! Oh, that's not good.
That doesn't seem great.
That does not seem great.
Well, anyone ever been in this pickle? I mean, it's actually not far. I can see it. Boy, that'd be real bad if it was like at the other end.
This is real life, people. Real life.
Uh-oh. Come on, bit.
How close is it? Is it close?
It's about an inch from the end.
Oh, why don't you use like some pliers or something?
Do you have some pliers?
No, I could go grab some though.
Oh, it's moving. Hold on.
Oh, Roman says put the magnet on the end of the extension. Try the
Hey-o.
magnet.
Look at that. I think Roman's on to something.
See, we need the check because they're like, use the magnet. Get the pliers.
I mean, it's wiggling.
You're not alone. Michael McEwen said, I thought I was the only one that happened to.
I didn't even think about that happening. That's a bummer.
Matt says hit the side of the blank.
It did seem to move it a little bit. Amy, I think I have some pliers on the table in there.
Needle nose.
They're not needle nose. They're like channel lock type. I think I can get it from those with those.
All right, I'm unequipped
Well,
to find pliers.
this is a first, but I've never used a 9-inch. The 3-inch doesn't seem to have a big problem like this. There's a lot of pressure in this thing. It's pretty tall. I think it's over 12 inches.
Pliers.
Oh yeah, because that's a 12-inch tool rest. Nope, 12 inches. What you got? Let's try these first. Ouch. She's moving.
Oh, that's a good idea. Drill a relief hole on the other end and push it out.
Yeah, you could do that. Amy brought me the biggest pliers ever.
Did I?
No, they're tiny.
Oh. I was like, what are you talking about?
Those are micro pliers.
They're good. Well.
Got my drill bit
Seems
stuck.
like small pliers would be good.
This is what I was after.
Oh. That is not what I thought. Sorry.
Ooh, it's moving. Yay. All right. Nothing like a little delay for getting the drill bit stuck. All right, probably close enough I can put it back on the...
Well, that was exciting.
Was it?
We have a vote for bubble gum on a stick.
Yeah. All right, we got her. Okay, I'm gonna give these a little extra tightening.
See, Roman says, now you see we would have missed all of that if you had pre-drilled it.
Well, that's kind of the point. Like, we could skip all this and just get to the show part, you know, the shaping, but this is the real stuff here. Who would want to miss this?
Julian says, will the live stream end a little lathe now?
What?
A little lathe? A little late?
Gotcha. Little lathe. Yeah, maybe. You never know. Okay. Well, we'll try not to do that again. I tighten these down, but I mean, I feel like they're gonna snap if I keep going. Ugh. Okay. I'll just back it out more often, I think. That might help. Now we've rechucked it again. There we go.
That's cool when it comes out, just all the debris.
Yeah.
David, now what did we learn from this today, kids?
We'll go like 1.5 inches and then pull it out. Or not. I mean, I don't drill holes in giant tubes very often. Come on. Look at all that chip that comes out of there. Yeah, I mean, it gets packed in there. It's packed around the bit pretty hard. Maybe I'm just going too much at once. We'll go 1/2 inch at a time because
Whoa, look at all that.
it'd be better to go slower and get it done than get it stuck again and not be able to do it. I mean, there's a lot of distance and pressures and
Yeah.
whatever.
Gerard says, why not just push in and pull out the tailstock?
I mean, I can try it. I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough strength to do it. It's so long and weird. Gerard, you're much more skilled at this than I am.
I think you're getting close to.
Yeah, we're like up to here or something. Sorry, Amy.
It's legitimately like, because of the swamp cooling air, it's like blowing in one direction.
Oh, yeah, we're almost there. Because we were only going to about here, so we're like half an inch away. We're not bad. There we go. I think we're going to call that good. Look at that thing wobble.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It's crazy with the wobble.
All right, there's your lesson on hollowing. Just kidding. I mean, it is hollow technically.
Hey, that whole, yeah.
Okay. So we got that thing pretty far. We'll do it this way. So we're that deep. Oh, it's hot. That deep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Should probably go a little further, huh? Yeah.
I think you might be good.
We should probably go a little bit more. I don't think we'd regret it if we went a little bit more. Let me back this up.
Ralph was saying tighten the set screws again.
Oh, good call. Should have done that.
Ah, famous last words.
All right, we're pretty good there. Cool.
How long is the tube? The tube is not that long.
Yes, that's a great question because the tube is not very long, but we didn't want the tube, because the tube is short, we didn't want the tube to just fall in and then have your rose stem be short, right? Is that the idea? So the tube is going to fall down in further, and then the stem will still have more room to go, but only the water will be in the bottom part. So I think that'll be nice. We'll see. We will see. Okay. Longest extension ever done.
Oh.
What's up?
Blue Loctite on the set screw. Don't use red.
Don't use red? Oh, well, I loosened that.
And then Vinny says, don't go too deep. You want to leave some bottom weight so it doesn't tip over.
Yeah, we should be good on that. We should have plenty of weight. Now we can do our thing here. We can use almost the whole piece. We're going to lose like 3/4 of an inch at the bottom or less. So we were almost from that to there. So we still have a pretty good amount on bottom. A good solid inch plus. All right. So Amy's shape, we're basically going to go curve at the bottom, big curve, neck, up to like a...
It's like a little lip.
Now I got to be careful not to go inside of the hole, because that's...
Indeed.
Yeah, that's not something I would normally have to deal with. So, I think we'll start on this end. Work it down a little bit. All right. Good stuff. I'm actually going to use a little bit of a smaller roughing gouge to take this down. See, it looks like it's a little out of round from that hole to the back end here. Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna up it to about 900. Well, there's 1,000. That's good. At least I know I'm in the hole on the live center, so if I center everything to that, we're in good shape. So Amy, you think a little lip at the top? Like a little lip and then come in
Yeah,
and then go, okay. So we're gonna...
that was my vision. But again, you should do it how you want to do it.
Well, are we thinking beads the whole way or no beads?
Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie wants to know what was the original size of the blank.
It is a
I can look on the
3 by 3 by 12, I believe.
3 by 3 by 12.
It's the mahogany on our site. Whoop. That's what happens when you lift the tool off the tool rest. So here you see I'm going downhill. I don't want to come back this way and go up.
Can you do your overhead camera?
Oh yeah. Good call.
We can't see your tool.
Sure. I just got to pay attention to that depth of the hole. I'm just mostly taking away bulk right now. And obviously I'm going to get rid of the little square at the end. So this is the top of it here. You know what I'm going to do? Let's bring this over. Make sure we're round.
We do have votes for beads. I'm going to do a poll.
I think if we do beads, we have to bead the whole thing, personally. So basically the poll is beads, all beads or no beads. But ultimately this might, you might give this to my mom or your mom or some other mom. So you can decide, Amy, if you want. We got a lot of material to remove.
All right, I'm doing a poll, guys.
Bead or no bead? I'm going to throw a new edge on the bigger roughing tool. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Amazing what a sharp edge will do.
Mike says, off the subject question, but do you guys sell those chuck holders on the wall? Yes, we do have them. In both sizes, I believe. And they're great because they have the little hanger for the key underneath them, which
What's
is
that?
pretty nice. I was just saying that the chuck holders for the wall have the hook for the
Oh,
key
the
underneath
key
them,
hanger.
which is pretty nice. So currently we have 61% of everybody is at no beads.
Oh.
But everybody who wants beads is saying you can only, if you do beads, they have to be limited. You can't just do all beads.
Can't do the whole thing beaded?
Yeah, I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what's your vision of where would there be a bead? Like,
couple of beads, one at the foot and one at the top lip. Michael McEwen says that. Homer Lux says limited beaded. Matt says yes, just a couple of beads. We're still at 61% on the poll of no beads. You guys want beads, vote for beads. Beads. Gerard, have fun. Gerard
What's he doing?
Gotta go. Going to the Phillies game tonight.
Where's he going?
To the Phillies game.
Oh, nice.
Sounds fun.
Okay, so we're still plenty big here.
Ooh, see, I like the way that is shaping up.
Well, there's so much material to remove. I'm still using the rough and gouge. Hey, Daniel, if you hear me, can you bring my calipers out? I'm kind of getting in a weird lull here, so I'm trying not to go up the other side here.
Chad was clearly outvoted.
Oh, yeah?
For sure. On everybody's just like, don't do too many beads.
How could there be too many beads? I mean, honestly. I feel like beads are, like there's just always beads. I'm going to cut in my bottom, so I have a hard line when I go to start shaping the bottom. So all I did was put a little sharp edge on my my parting gouge. Now, this chuck is so dang big, I'm gonna have to go around it. It's really gonna extend me out here, but I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm not going very far, but I just want to be able to cut around and have an open spot for my tool. That should be enough. Oh yeah, thanks.
Woohoo, calipers. Thank you.
Were mine not laying right there? Oh, I wonder where they went. Hey, thanks. Were you using these? Were you using these? No. Okay. I wonder if that means mine are out here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is just, I know I've got a ton of material, but just like, sometimes you estimate it and it's way off. Like I thought there was probably 1.5 inches, and there's almost 2 inches. Let's see here. 1.819. So we got quite a bit still. So we'll keep taking that off. And then Amy, is this bottom too big or not big enough?
No, the bottom should be big so it doesn't tip over.
Obviously it's going to be rounded a little more. We'll up the speed a little here.
Okay, I restarted the poll at the urging of the people.
Oh yeah,
The democracy.
new poll.
So we have some beads, no beads, all beads. And I gotta tell you, some beads is winning big time.
What?
Just having a few beads, some beads, but not like all beads is winning big time.
Why would they have a saying, go bead or go home, if it wasn't for all beads. So what I'm doing is just going to bring this middle down to my approximate size, and then we can kind of start shaping a little bit better. I do have my Dremel too, but I'm not a skilled carver, so I don't know that that's a good idea.
I think it'd be cool to embellish it with burning.
Yeah, I was going to bring the wood burner, I forgot.
Oh, also related, our project for May is totally going to be a vase.
That's why I'm doing this one.
I know.
Oops, I don't want that.
So hopefully, if you're watching and you're like, I would do it this way, you guys will do one and post it up this next month.
Yeah, everybody watching is probably like, I could have done it better this way. You should do that because that's the whole point of this. Come on, see, everybody see what happened? I'm getting drug uphill. When I push in, my edge is catching and running up the hill.
I like the shape that you're getting, though. I like the shape that you're getting. It's nice.
Yeah. It kind of made like a curve. Whoa, did it again. I'm getting a little curvy for this big old roughing gouge. So I'm going to switch. Now we could use a variety of things. I kind of want to make this a little smaller, which actually we're going to clean that up with the same parting tool. Still got a little edge here. So I'm just going to kind of cut a fresh edge. And I'm not going to cut through or anything, but I'm just going to give myself a little visual to work with. And then that gives me like a fresh lip right here that I can see nicely. All right, so we're starting to look good. We'll see if this bowl gouge is sharp. It doesn't look very sharp. Oh, it is not at all. Let's try this little guy. So I'm just trying to bring that. Don't you think a little sharper edge on the top here?
Yeah.
More like a curve. And then what?
Harold's asking what is the challenge. So Harold, every month we do like a turning and a carving challenge so that everybody can kind of like work on a similar project and then share pictures. So you can share pictures on Instagram and tag us and we'll reshare. Or if you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Turner's Warehouse Turning Team where people post pictures as well. And the project for this month, since we are still in April, was wands. And the project for next month is going to be like a vase. Hey, Anita. It is mahogany wood, and it's not stabilized, is it?
It is not, but look at that. That's good to see because it's like such a nice finish that the sanding would be super minimal. I think the hardest thing we all do is we do a bunch of cutting and then we have to come back and sand. And if you can see, I'll try to see if the camera can pick this up or not, where I just used that scraper, this, and it has a nice fresh edge on it. It left this nice smooth finish, and then right there is where I stopped, and that's where that roughing gouge was cutting. And it's not terrible, but there's a little tear out here. So if you can find tools and techniques to leave you a better surface, I mean, all the way around, this is very nice. It's much less sanding, which is not the most fun part, if you ask me. So let's take this, even though we got a little more shaping to do, I just want to kind of see if we can use this scraper to leave a nice edge and remove the tear out.
And then the bottom, in my opinion, you should curve it like the bottom of a bowl.
You mean like a sharp curve?
Like a bowl on the bottom.
Like to where it comes in pretty tight? Okay, I got you.
Not tight, but like round.
Like this or
Yeah.
like this?
Nope. The first thing you
Like this
did.
one?
Yep.
Like, okay.
That's what I think.
I mean, I'll do my best. Never made one before.
All right, I'm ending the poll. We have 75% of everybody wants some beads.
You say some beads?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this. Because this is important for wood turning. Doing less sanding is always better. Now look at that. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this is like, man, you could almost sand this with like 220 and be done. It looks good. So we're going to shape this bottom. It's going to be tight fit here with this chuck.
Which I don't know if we're putting, everybody's voting for little beads on the bottom or like a bead or two on the bottom.
Here, let's,
But if you're going to put a bead on the bottom, maybe we don't round the bottom.
well, here, let's see, because we can kind of see what it'll look like, right? Like if there was, that would be one, this would be a bead, maybe that one a bead.
Not too many.
There's two. And then if there was one
Like
up here,
at the top. Not too many, not too many. I'm advocating for you guys for not too many beads.
I don't know, is that too many beads? Can you see those on the camera?
Yeah.
That's like two and one.
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of think the top doesn't need it if we leave it sharp, but if we're gonna make it,
Do
bring
the
it in.
bottom first, and then let's see.
Let's see what our width is. What a rich mahogany. We're still at 1.4. So we could still go a little thinner, which we probably should, huh? You know, that's how we ended up with that Franken bowl, is I was like, we should go a little thinner and a little faster.
I mean, that Franken bowl is really cool. Very, very cool.
All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna sharpen this. Sharpen, sharpen. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, next question, Amy. Should this be like the same width all the way here, or should it taper? Like, because I'm a little fat up here still.
I don't know. Use your don't make the inside bigger than the outside.
Oh yeah, this needs to
Oh.
come down.
Got it. I think you should do what's in your heart. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
We do have votes for, we have one vote for the same width, we have one vote for taper. Another vote for taper.
Tapered?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, that looks good, Chad.
Thank you. I feel like I'm starting to hear it.
Yeah, don't go too far.
Can you hear that? I think we're pretty thin actually. So I'm going to stop there as far as this part. Now we'll work on the bottom here. Oh my gosh, look at that finish. I barely have to sand. Thank you,
Good.
Sharp Tools. Okay, before we get done, I'll have to keep parting that off and do some sanding, and then we'll cut that off. But we got to do the bottom. So you decided some beading, I believe. Is that correct? Let's see. I'm going to have to go left-handed here. This I'm going to have to, let's take, now I don't have a lot of room to work here. Kind of right up next to the chuck.
Yes. Is this a TARDIS vase? Legit?
What?
Chad, do you know about the TARDIS from Doctor Who?
No.
No. I do. I know it's from Doctor Who. Yeah, Ralph says Vinny's right. The inside hole may be larger than expected.
Yeah, especially with as wobbly as it was. I think we need a little more arc here. A little low on my tool rest. Bring it over. I'm running out of tool rest and space. Okay. I think we're okay. We'll bring up something a little smaller for rounding this.
Matt, have a good night.
And I'm going to use this skew very carefully. That's pretty good. So you're pleased with that shape?
Yeah, I like it. I think it looks nice.
And I mean, I don't know. I think one bead, huh? You're saying one bead at the bottom?
People are saying they want multiple beads, but like an odd number. Like maybe.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Like 3 at the bottom, 2 at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Or, yeah. Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Or 2 at the bottom.
Ah, I
one at
hate
the
that
top.
finish in there. Hold on a sec. We are going to have to come back here. I'm going to raise this up a little bit. I'm going to make sure we're not hitting. I got to put a little edge on my skew here because it left a terrible finish. Okay. And what I did was I just sharpened the bottom side. If the camera will pick it up, it's about 1/8 of an inch. And I just did it at 20 degrees to give me a burr, which should, if I can get this all the way around, see those little light feathery, oh yeah, as long as I don't hit the chuck. Okay, that will save me some sanding time, and it looks a ton better. Okay, and that's right where we're going to put the... So, there's still a little bit of tool marks, but it's around the corner that I can't reach with the tool, so I'm going to have to sand a little bit there. But I think we're in good shape. So we're going to put one bead here, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll see about this end and do 2 maybe. If y'all think it's a go. This is an Easy Wood Tools beading tool. I just use the Easy Start with the bead tools on them. Available at Turner's Warehouse. That's a plug.
Good plug.
All right, so I'm going to come in right. So there's my first one. Second one. Third one. That's how high it'll be. Does that look cool? I think it's cool.
It's hard to see from where I'm sitting.
Is it? I'm going to just give it a little rocking back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of getting a little rub on this side. So I'm going to grab a detailer. And I'm just going to take off this tiny sharp edge. So I just barely did anything, but I just gave my tool a little breathing room. There we go. You can see the shavings flying a little bit better. Looks pretty round and beaded. Not bad. And the reason I made those marks ahead of time is because I like to come in on the upper line versus the bottom, because then I risk going into the other bead if I'm too far this way. But you can see there I got like good separation. So I'm actually watching the top line, not the bottom line.
Those beading tools are great.
Yeah, they really do make it
It
pretty
makes it
easy to
look
put a nice
so
bead
easy.
on. All right, and then same thing I did here. I'm going to just cut the sharp edge off of this, just barely. I could probably do it with sandpaper too, but that works really nice. Well, we can't unbead it, so I hope it looks good. All right, now this one we're going to do 2 or 1. I think we got room for 2, but if you only want 1, I can do 1.
Odd number. We want an odd number.
Well, 1 is an odd number.
Well, no, you
2
just
is not.
put 3 on the bottom.
Yeah? You mean an odd
Then-
number total?
I think an odd number total.
Okay.
You got votes. Bottom looks great. Whoop, whoop.
If we can keep these edges during sanding, it'll look really cool. Okay.
Oh, maybe that looks awesome just like that.
Huh?
I said maybe that looks awesome just like that.
Oh, I'm only doing 1 on the top,
Yeah.
just because of space. All right, I'm just gonna get this a little closer. I gotta remember that hole is down there.
What are you gonna finish with?
Probably the bowl finish, maybe.
Yeah,
So
I was thinking that. I'm excited to see the wood pop.
let's sand this a little bit. Are we okay on time? I know I've been taking a while. Oh, dang. Way over.
Craig,
Sorry,
can
guys.
you do a quick close-up of the beading tool?
Yeah.
We're at 229.
Okay, I'll get moving here. That's the beading tool there. What it is it replaces your square. This is a 3/16. There's 4 different sizes. I think this might be the smallest or the second smallest. But it just allows you to cut. And what I do is I'll put it in and make my 2 lines with the points, and then I'll just gently side to side, because you want it to round the piece. You don't want the top to be square. So I'll just kind of ease it in there carefully. Okay, let's do this. We're going to make this lightning fast sanding because
It's already so smooth.
it's really smooth. So this is 240 Abernet. What?
Somebody, Byron said, gotta use shellac after today as the finish, because we were all talking about shellac. And then Barry Anderson said, rub M&Ms on it. It made me laugh.
You know, I don't have either shellac or M&Ms, so I can't do either. I've never used shellac, although I'm sure the stuff I use has shellac in it. Okay. This end here is my only problem area. It looks like it's coming out pretty quick.
Yeah, those beading tools make easy work of things.
Yeah, they do. I'm just trying to sand the beads too, just so they're smooth.
Mike, what does that mean? Mike says, shellac is the best wood finish ever because it dissolves itself even after it's dry. It dissolves itself even after it's dry, and it's really easy to work with.
I don't know, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, that's what I thought. The Mylan's friction finish is a shellac base.
That makes sense. It is pretty great. I actually think I made it worse on myself with this. What?
Mike Taylor says Billy Joel uses shellac. You ought to know by now.
Oh boy.
That was
You guys are
awesome.
getting delirious. Delirious.
It's a good song.
Huh?
Oh, I was just saying that was a great song.
I feel like my first sandpaper might have made this worse. Should have started a little higher.
Later, Vinny. Have a good night.
You know what we should do?
What?
Sometime we should do a live stream where we just keep going until there's no one here and the last person wins a prize. After like the marathon of live streams. Wouldn't that be fun?
But then I would leave.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said then I would leave though.
Well, yeah, you might not win the prize.
Oh, you still have a good group watching. I feel like we're all committed to seeing the end result.
Oh, we're getting there.
We have multiple people saying, I got plenty of time, I've got all night. Roman asks, what constitutes still being here?
That's a good question.
Ralph said, so it would just be Chad and I?
Yeah.
Jim says, do I have to be awake to win?
See, it's already, people are already curious.
Well, watching wood turning is very,
It can be very unique.
it's very mesmerizing.
See, we got some scratches right here that I just don't like.
Homer likes to ask, is the prize fruit snacks?
Yeah, right?
Oh, this is going to be really pretty, I think. Daniel says we all have to stay touching a lathe, and the last person touching it gets to take home a prize.
Yeah, right.
Daniel and Chad would be here till like tomorrow.
That's a Mr. Beast style challenge. All right,
Chad
we're gonna.
might win, but I don't know. Daniel really loves turning as well.
We're gonna put some sanding sealer on here and see if that helps with my annoying lines. May, it may not. Plus my hands are dusty. Let's blow off the camera and the computer. There's dust everywhere. Okay. That's how it works. All right, we can put that down for now.
The other night, Chad had a stool in front of the lathe. Because I think maybe you were working on
Well, I was doing the sewing.
sewing with copper wire.
It was low, so it was like I was arcing the whole night, so I like sat on the stool. It helped.
Okay.
Sanding sealer.
We're doing a shellac. Shellac is a great word. Shellac. I still have Billy Joel stuff.
You just like the word shellac?
Huh?
Do you just like the word shellac?
It's a good word. And then I have the Billy Joel song stuck in my head now.
I wish I had I would like to brush it on this project, but I don't have a
You were living the life,
brush.
David. He says he's retired, so nowhere to go. Let's do it.
Good.
Will you go to your overhead again?
Sanding
Or
sealer is like a preview of.
something that's zoomed in,
Oh yeah.
just so
Maybe
we
this
can
one?
see it better.
This will be tough with the
beads.
yeah. Getting it all in the bead.
Ooh,
What I'm gonna
yeah,
try to do is
see?
try to get the end.
Mike says breathing it helps you chillax.
Chillax, man. Whoops. Don't dump it on the lathe.
Chillax.
Now is where I need a brush.
I'm calm, calmer than you are.
So many things. Let's see.
Oh, the lathe, buddy.
There it is. We're not even wet sanding and it makes an appearance.
Mike Homerlex says, aren't you glad you didn't bead the whole thing now?
I'm actually very glad. That's a great point. What a dumb idea I had.
Kev is asking what brand it is.
What?
It's a Mylan's sanding sealer, I believe, that he's
yeah.
using right now.
Yeah, the sanding sealer is Mylan's. I know there's other brands out there, and they're probably fine. This is just the one we have in the store, so that's the one I use. But use whatever you want. Use whatever you want as long as it's Mylan's. No, I'm just
Smells
kidding.
Good.
Okay.
Sorry. I
Yes,
said
the
that well.
upper, the bead is not a fun thing to try to get sanding sealer in, but the brush helps. There we go. Actually, I'm going to use it up here too. And remember, this stuff is just,
Yes.
I'm going to sand it all off. It's just to fill the grain and make it smoother for my finish.
Ralph, most of what goes on inside my head is Big Lebowski quotes.
It's just like your opinion. I gotta tell you, that thing feels really smooth. So this this sanding sealer dries really fast here, and we got air blowing from the swamp cooler. So I'm gonna turn this on and let it spin for a sec. And actually, while it's spinning, I can try to get extra, because I don't want like clump sanding sealer in the grooves, but I do want it in there. And by the time I do this, it's dry. Now, I'm gonna grab this is the new abrasive paste we have. This is the Turner's abrasive. I've got a white 0 Scotch-Brite piece in here. Can you see that okay? I'm just going to go over it. Probably get a fair amount on this one. So I'm going to go over it, and I'll do one section at a time here. I'm at a low speed. And then I'm going to speed it up.
Barry says he has a newbie question. If
Go for
you
it.
know the diameter of the drill bit and add a little for the wobble, why not measure before making the last few scraper cuts?
You know, you could. I just didn't. No reason to not do that because you would know it. I figured there was a little bit of wobble. That drill bit was moving a little bit, so I allowed a little extra. But I'm not very like precision isn't what I'm going for. It's more of just like it feels right. And sometimes it feels like it doesn't work because it blows up or whatever. But no, that's probably the way to do it, honestly. Because then you're going to get a more accurate size, a more detailed size. Where mine was just more, hey, I'm going to stop here. I just wanted to stop early. If I was doing this on my own in the quiet, I probably would have done that maybe. But I didn't want to blow through it by going fast and not checking it out for you guys. So probably a good idea to do what you said there. All right, so that stuff is all kind of rubbed and worked in. Now I'm just going to kind of rub it off. So I'm going to start on this end. And this is abrasive paste, so it's not the finish. So you can see all that brown. I want to get all that off of here. When I'm done with this, I don't want there to be any brown coming off on the paper towel. No brown spots. So it's going to break the paste down and rub it off. But it's also going to polish and buff that sanding sealer we put in there. So I'm going to really get these bead areas. I'm just kind of like poking it in there, you know. All right. Then I'm going to grab a fresh paper towel.
Oh, good tip. Byron says cutting sanding sealer 50-50 with denatured alcohol helps it dry really quickly.
Yeah, I do like to cut the sanding sealer, but my jar broke that I had in here, so that was straight up. I think it penetrates the wood better when you cut it, and it dries faster, so that is a great point. Okay, see there, we're pretty good. Not anything left on here. And I'm going to use this this Turner's. It says Turner's. It's not us Turner's. It's just for wood turners. But we carry this. It's a lot like Odie's oil, but not the same. I got some shavings.
What grit is that sanding thing?
The one I just used was 1800. We have it in 1200 and 1800, and you can use them together, but for the sake of time, I just picked the higher grit. So we're clean and good to go. This stuff, I actually like this stuff. It's all natural. I tend to put it on by just dipping my finger in it and getting a goop on, but look at this mahogany. Woo! So that's sanded, but essentially no finish. Now this stuff, you want to rub it on pretty generously, but I mean, it doesn't have to be like dripping off of it. You want it coated, and the beads will again be difficult, I'm sure. Plus, I still have to part this, so I probably could have waited on this whole thing until I parted it off, but we'll show it to you, then I'll part it off. So I just rub it on. Now, this is going to be a much quicker version here, what we're going to do. Normally, I'll let this sit like 2 or 3 hours and soak in. And if I'm around, I'll look for dry spots, meaning like if the wood has soaked in all of this finish, I'll put more on or I'll spread it around, you know, just like in the area like that. But obviously we're not going to sit here for 2 or 3 hours and wait unless you guys really want to, because that'd be really like watching paint dry. But I am going to use a paper towel to try to get it into the cracks here. So I'm going to put a little dab into the crack, actually all the way around if I can. And then I'm going to rub it in with this paper towel. And all I'm trying to do is like push it down in the bead. So I'm not trying to like put pressure on it. So this is what I've been using on bowls because I want it food safe. That I put a lot in. So I'm going to try to rub these. I can hear this thing creaking, so I think it's pretty thin. It's real weird. There we go. So I would rub this in, let it sit a couple hours, and then come back and basically like buff it off with a paper towel or a cloth. And by buff it off, I just mean like this, like rub it off. Like rub it on, rub it off. Now, if you want more shine, you can do a second coat. I gotta be honest, it looks really good with one coat. And this didn't really even have a chance to soak in like we'd like. But we're not gonna wait for that.
It's really pretty.
So we could always hand wipe another coat on tomorrow since we're not really letting this one sit. But look at that, even just that fast. It looks really nice and it feels great. It feels real like natural, and it allows it to feel like wood, not plastic, like a hard coating finish. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks super nice. This mahogany is beautiful wood. Where did I put the lid? Not over here.
Good night, Marquetta.
I can't believe she's bailing on us after only 2 hours. Okay. So let's do the bottom. We can do a little more removal because we got room. The top, we're pretty darn close because that hole is probably not very far away from where my wood is. So we're going to be real careful there.
Good night, Mark.
You guys, the best part is coming.
Mark from Hobble Creek has been here the whole time. That's
What?
awesome. I know.
Come
Links
on, Mark.
to his bespoke blanks are in the live stream, or not the live stream. What is the thing I send? The newsletter.
Oh yeah. They are this week, huh? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I just want to get this down a little bit. I'm real thin here, but I got plenty here. So I'm just going to get it down, find my burr. And I am going to still have to sand and finish the bottom. So I'm kind of doing this out of order, but that's for the purpose of the live stream-ish.
That's a good question. Ralph says, rookie question, do folks recess the bottom and epoxy in a weight for a vase?
You know, I guess you could. I don't know, though. Not that I've seen. If you were worried about weight, you could do that. Like if you were to, it would tip. This one is not very big or heavy, so I'm not worried about this one. But if it was like a really big piece, you could do that.
I think it might be okay because it's tall. Well, and it depends on like how short or tall you cut your flowers, I think, as well.
So I'm just making a second cut with my parting tool to give me some room because I'm getting a little tight as we get closer to the bottom. So I'll just go back and forth cutting these. And we're probably an inch. So we'll go a little bit more. Famous last words.
Do you want your face shield?
What?
You want your face shield?
No, I'm going to stop and hand cut now. So we could probably keep going, but that would surely be the end since we're live. Let's see. I think this will be the harder end to cut once it's free. So I'm going to kind of prep this end while it's still on the lathe. And I'm just using a flush cut saw. This is a little Japanese flush cut. Actually, I think I got this little flush cut at Harbor Freight, of all places. And it's really a Japanese, made in Japan. I use this thing all the time. And it's flexible. So the idea is you can push against it and it follows your bend instead of marring what you're cutting against. So like you would think I'm scratching up this top, which I am a tiny bit, but not much. But I'll re-sand the top. So I'm just trying to keep it nice and flat as I'm rotating it slightly. What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, it has a cool shape. And then we were thinking it kind of has a shape almost like a bowling pin. And then I was like, Mike, Homer Lex, if you're still out there, you need to make a bud vase that's a bowling pin.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to grab
And totally on brand for you.
my lathe buddy again so I can lay this on here and not scratch it. So I'm going to go, well, let's see. Let's get the cut started.
Roman's asking if we're going to Ohio in September.
I
No,
don't
probably
think
not.
so, yeah. It's so hard to get away.
But we did do our SWAT registration
Our
today.
only show might be SWAT this year.
Yes! Mike says he'll do that. Very excited. I can't take credit, though. It was Daniel's idea.
So I'm not trying to necessarily cut this off right here, but I want to get my cut in while I can spin it and it makes it easier. Now I'm going to take it off. Take it off the chuck. Amy, I need a flower for this.
You want me to go get the flour?
Well, I mean, we're going to have it for the presentation, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, like, you can only do so much on the lathe. You got to do the bottom and the top in something like this.
I am Mike.
I guess I could have tried to cut this off and hold it on the lathe, but it was so long that I think it would have been more trouble than it was worth. Because what I'm going to do is just use my,
This rose looks-
oh, see, I'm already into the hole here because it's cutting real fast.
I'm sorry. if
I'm
I
just going to
pulled
use my hand
one on
sander
my head.
and I'll sand this down in no time. So see, I scratched the top a little bit, but it's not crazy compared to what it should be.
This rose, by the way, looks
Looks
perfect
fake, huh?
right now.
It does? Perfect
Yeah,
rose.
It's perfect.
Is this a particular kind of rose or just a rose?
You know, it's a red rose.
So obviously I'd put water in here, right?
Yep, water
And then
would be
I'd
helpful.
slide that down in there. Boom. A rose holder.
That
How
looks-
else would you have held a rose like this?
Are you on the right?
What?
There you go.
Wrong camera?
Yep.
I mean, there's no other way I could have held a rose except if I grabbed like a mason jar and stuck it in there.
I mean,
It's pretty good because this is a tall rose and it's pretty stable.
that's why I was like,
So the weight is good.
Well, there's no water in it too.
And there's no water in it. So what I have left is I would sand and finish the top, sand and finish the bottom just by hand with the hand sander and my hand. And then I'll probably put another coat of finish on it tomorrow and let it soak. And then that's kind of it. Now you could do this with, like, you could have done a whole bunch of stuff on the way. If you would have taken your block and drilled holes, you know, different directions, you could make the tube visible inside or just have like ornate features. So this is super basic, but you can kind of take this and run with it into a whole bunch of different things, if that makes sense. Well, I think I went long today. Sorry about that. 2 hours. Eesh. But thanks for watching, everybody. Anything before we go, Amy? Actually smells pretty good.
We've got great show, great questions.
Yeah.
Florence.
Thanks for all the questions. It's nice, don't ask questions just to ask questions, but when you have a question, ask, because it's nice to know people are paying attention and want to know something if we can help.
Julian says that rose can chillax in there. Nice one, Julian.
That rose is, this rose has Riz.
It
All
looks
right.
really good.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And then we will see you next week where we're doing golf stuff. Golfing next week. Here.
Golf pins for moms. Did
There
you
it
go
is.
black already?
No,
Oh,
showing the rose.
it's really pretty.
You want the rose or the whole thing?
You said here, and I was like,
Oh, here. Well, I'm going to give you the rose back because I still got to sand the top and bottom.
Okay.
But we'll do that off air because nobody wants to see
This
that.
rose is perfect right now, though,
I know.
and it smells really good.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. See you next time.
Good night.